welcome to Overdrive. I'm Shireen Bhan. Well, we've taken the auto show into a higher gear and it's quite literally in overdrive. It's a brand new show with a new set of cast and crew, but the spirit, our commitment to the auto sector remains the same. Through the year, through every show, every week, we're going to bring you the hottest bikes and the hottest cars that drive onto the Indian roads. We'll tell you about the hottest trends both in the Indian auto world as well as the global auto industry. But before we get on with the show, let me introduce our new set of cast and crew to you. We've been monkeying around on a very, very wet racetrack right here in Sri Perumbudur. I think I can hear them. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you to meet Overdrive's band of boys. I'm calling them the Three Stooges because they put me in the cheapest car of the quartet that's going to be driven right here in Sri Perumbudur. Let me start from my right. That's Shirish Chandran, the executive editor of Overdrive. The deputy editor of Overdrive, Bertrand D'Souza. And the man you've been seeing, who's been driving you through the auto show for about a year now, Karthikeya Singhi. Gentlemen, best of luck for the mission.
And to drive the excitement up to the next level, we have with us the Mercedes E280, the Volvo S80, the BMW 525D, and the Audi A6 3 Diesel. But the day started off with a real-world test. A 3-hour drive to Chennai from pretty Pondicherry. The beaches and the waves were tempting, but not enough to draw us away from our cars. And it was looking like it would rain any moment. And when it did, it was nothing less than a storm. The perfect weather to test out some of the most technologically advanced cars in the world. We weaved our way out of the city streets with a smooth, fast highway. Only going fast in this weather is like driving blindfolded. But nowadays, all premium executive car makers stuff their cars with safety technology. And Mercedes practically leads the pack. All the electronics must have been humming away under the hood to keep us on the glistening road. While the windshield wipers frantically fought the rain, Bertrand sat completely at ease in the Mercedes E-Class.
This is a comfortable car, everything's luxurious, ride quality is superb, and you just don't feel a thing sitting inside this car. Long drives like this, it's just not tiring.
But you could trade in all the electronic gizmos and comfort features of your car for pure seat-of-the-pants feedback to guide you. A car that speaks to you about every meter of the road can prepare you for every centimeter of the rain-soaked roads and for all the slush, leaving you in control. And for sheer communicative driving, the BMW 5 Series is unbeatable. Its cougar-like reflexes engage you and beg you to go faster. But Zirish wasn't quite happy with his speed or the flushness of his BMW.
I'm stuck in this stupid rain, doing 60 clicks and learning that an involving sporty chassis does not necessarily translate into a comfortable ride.
Most cars would feel on the limit at 60 kilometers per hour skating over roads like this. We even had to pull over sometimes as the rain smudged out the outside world. And once back on the road, it took time to get up to speed. Not Not unless if you were in a car that had four-wheel drive, like the Audi A6. With power going to all four wheels, the A6 felt more planted than what I had expected. But as the A6 hunkered over the tarmac, it also went over bumps a lot harder than I expected. I found out that you could soften the suspension a bit by chatting up the A6's car computer.
The trick up Audi sleeve is that its air suspension is adaptive, which means you can set it in comfort mode, you can set it to increase its ground clearance for our rough roads, and you can even set it to dynamic mode, which is a sports mode. But the best thing on a drive like this is to set it to comfort mode, chill out, and take in the superb interiors. Especially the windshield here gives me kicks because it just makes you feel like you're sitting in a tank.
Tank-like security of four-wheel drive reduces a car's efficiency and responsiveness. The engine has to work harder to make up for it. But the Volvo, despite being an all-wheel drive, made mincemeat of the soaked highway. That's because it had a gigantic 4.4-litre petrol engine steaming under the hood. And so the Volvo just sliced its way through the flash flood.
Well, I'm in the Volvo S80 and I'm not the auto expert, but purely as somebody who's been driving for more than a couple of years, I've enjoyed this. I've heard the engine roar a couple of times as well, and that was truly exciting. I can't see very much, but that's not a problem with the car. That's actually because it's pouring at this point in time. I like the interior. It's very, very basic, classic, and it's been fun, but my back's beginning to give a little at this point in time. We've been on the road for about 2 hours now, so I think that's taken a toll on my back. But otherwise it's been a fun drive so far.
And it did get better. The rain disappeared, but by then the Volvo had given Shireen a backache. Sirish had trouble with the BMW stiff chassis, and I had to sort out the bumpy low-speed ride of the Audi. It was the Mercedes that came out on top in the real-world test, as Bertie was completely comfy and fresh as we neared Chennai.
After the break, we hit Chennai and the MMST racetrack. And Sirish cracks your car queries on Auto Selector. Welcome back here with Overdrive. We're going to